Hi, this is Jeannie from Trendy, and today I'm going to show you how to make a decoration to go on top of a lantern. These are some new lanterns that we sell at Trendy, and I'm just really been pleased with mine. This one is a set of two, and there's a smaller one that goes with it. But it's made of wood, has a metal top, and it's glass. And of course, it has a little door that opens, and I put a candle on the inside, and this is one of our new battery candles. It has a remote that goes with it, and you can just set your lantern anywhere and use the remote to turn it on and off. And it also has a timer that you can set it to come on and burn for so many hours to go off, and it comes back on in 24. Anyway, I love these lanterns. But using a lantern is a very easy way to add a little decoration to your room without doing a lot of work, I guess. But you can take this lantern, and it's just perfect for year-round, and just change your decoration that you put on top. So I'm going to make just a bow and use some Patriotic ball sprays. And I'm using up scraps. I have some red, white, and blue mesh that's just a couple of yards on a roll. And I have several ribbons in just red, white, and blue, and silver that are scraps also. And I'm going to show you how to make a scrappy bow using up the ends of your ribbons. The first thing we're going to do, though, is take the sprays. And I have 3 sprays with me, and I'm going to kind of angle them where they're not lined up, right on top of each other. And that's going to be my base that I'm going to use to attach my bows. So I'm just going to stagger those a little bit, and I'm going to have 2 on one end, and then I'm going to put 1 on the other end. And that way we'll secure them to the lantern in a little bit. But and of course we'll position these after we get everything made. But I'm going to put those together with some zip ties. And I may have to use more than one, but I'm just going to put a couple of zip ties around them. Use about 3. And that will be our base. Now, when you cut your ends of your zip ties off, always use wire cutters. They'll ruin your scissors. Okay? So now we have our base, and we're going to add just a few of the red, white, and blue mesh ruffles. Or you could do curls, ruffles or curls, but I'm going to cut some 10-inch pieces. I'm not going to use too many, but I'm going to cut some 10-inch pieces of the red, white, and this is actually white with silver. This is a wide foil mesh. It's 10 inches in width, and it comes on a 10-yard roll. All these supplies came from Trendy. But this is just some short ends that I had left over. I'm going to make about 3 ruffle clusters, and I'm going to take the 10-inch mesh and lay it down to where the selvage edge is on the outside, and I'm going to scrunch up through the middle starting at the cut edge. Just hold that, makes it like a little bow tie. Of course, you want to lay your mesh down to where it curls up naturally, curls under naturally. And I'm just going to do a cluster of red, white, and blue. Of course, I'll need a chenille stem to attach it. So I'm going to take a chenille stem. I'm going to cut it in half. I won't need a whole one. Take that chenille stem and lay right across the top of my ruffles. Bring it around to the back. Oops. And just twist it together, tight as I can. Okay, so you've made a sort of a pick, and you have this little chenille stem on the back to secure it with. So So I'm going to make 3 of those. Next, I'm going to take these ribbons that I have. It's just 2 of them are 2.5 inches in width, and the others are 1.5. I'm going to cut some 24-inch lengths. Now I'm going to chevron the ends of my ribbon, and I'm going to fold the ribbon in half, and then fold again lengthwise, and cut on that folded edge away from me, and then that way I have my ends of my ribbon finished off. I'll do that for all the pieces that I've cut. Oops. Okay, next we're going to take our ribbon and we're going to make it a loop. Now you can make a loop by just folding it in half, and we want to make our loop about 4.5 or 5 inches. You can leave your tails even, or you can stagger your tails. They don't all have to be the same length, but you do want to keep your loops the same length. So I'm going to make about a 5-inch loop, and I'm just going to leave my tails the same on some, and on some I may stagger them. And I'm going to alternate my ribbons. Just pinch them together, just keeping that loop all the same. It's 5 inches. About 4.5 or 5. Oh, here we go. I was going to say, I thought I had 5 ribbons. I couldn't find it. Okay. Now I've got 5 loops. I'm still holding it. I'm going to take a chenille stem, I'm not going to cut it, I need to hold the chenille stem and go around the ribbon, bring it to the back, twist it, and I want to twist it as tight as I can, give it a couple of turns, and then take that chenille stem and kind of spread it out. So now I have tails coming to the front. I need to bring some tails up from the back, and I want to keep my right sides up. So I'm bringing up, I should have 5 tails to the front and 5 tails to the back. So I'll bring up a tail and just hold it between those chenille stems for right now. 2, 3, 4, 5. Seems like I've got all the long tails to the back. Sorry, I was talking to myself. Okay. So when you get through, just count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I've got 5 tails to the front and 5 tails to the back. Now I'm going to take those chenille stems and come under those tails on the back, and I'm going to secure that bow again. Just give it a few twists. So now I have a chenille stem that I can attach my bow with, and I've got my loops in the center, and I should have 5 tails that are facing upright to the back and 5 to the front. So I'm just going to space those out. Okay? And now we're going to secure this, and I think it may be easier to secure after we've secured our ball sprays to the lantern, and that way we can figure out exactly where we want to place our bow. I'm going to do probably 2 for the top and then 1 for the bottom. So I'm going to make 3 more bows similar to this. But that's a very easy way to make a bow, and it's a very good way to use up your scraps. Okay, we have 3 bows that are similar. They're not exactly alike, but I think what we'll do now is secure the ball sprays to the lantern frame. And you can use a chenille stem or a wire. Sometimes I think it's really easier to do if you tie with ribbon, because that way it won't slip and slide so much. So I'm just going to cut a length of ribbon and go around the ball spray and just tie a knot, and then I'm going to use that ribbon to tie my piece to the top of the lantern, and then we'll fill in our other pieces. I'm just going to tie it in a knot. Well, I'll tie it in a bow in the back, and then that way it'll be easy to take off. Okay. Now, we can kind of bend those sprays any way that we want to. And I'm just going to take my mesh side, so I'm just going to make some add those in. I cut another piece of the ribbon and just chevron the ends of those tails. I'm just going to put those on a chenille stem and attach those so that my ribbon hangs down a little longer. And in hindsight, in making the mesh clusters, it would be better to not cut your chenille stem in half. You could use that extra length. It's a little bit hard to make it a little easier to attach them if you just go ahead and leave that extra length on there. But I'm just going to add in these extra tails just to extend that look of that bow down a little farther. And then I'm going to go back and twist my chenille stems around the spray so that, my chenille stems won't be showing, from the other side or anything like that. Okay. An easy way to curl your bow tails is just take one of your cores from one of your rolls of mesh and just start that ribbon tail and just curl it up. All these ribbons are wired. And then just slide that rail out and you've got Shirley Temple curls. And that works whether your ribbon is 1.5 inches or 2.5 inches or whatever. And then you can just pull on them to loosen them up as much as you want. Okay? Go back, fluff your ribbons, clip your strings, and make sure that your chenille stems are not showing anywhere. And there you go. Decorated for the 4th without a lot of work, and then in a few more weeks we can just take this off and put something fall on there. Okay?
Maybe